Everyone who has renovated or built a house at least once in their life knows that there are two important things that must be met before you can move into it. First, it's good once there is a bed. Second, sewerage. And in this episode we deal with this second point. Right now we are preparing the area for pipe installation. In this episode we install pipes for sewage, ventilation and water drainage from gutters. First, installation of a septic tank. This tank collects sewage that is decomposed by bacteria and only dirty water, aka wastewater, flows out of the pipes. Right next to it, we're making place for ventilation pipes that are related to heat recovery ventilation. Let's move to the garden. A great transformation is about to take place in this area. Some of you probably remember how much time we spent getting rid of a relatively small area of bushes. Weeks of hard work, often in scorching sun. It was not an easy task because this area hadn't been touched for at least 25 years, and very tangled and prickly bushes had grown over them, which were very difficult to remove with ordinary tools. We knew that we have to clear this area to zero at least once, so that these types of bushes don't grow back. We realized that when we mowing this part of the garden in the future, we would either give up halfway or we would do it for the rest of our lives. So, we decided to hire a robot. As soon as we had the opportunity, we decided to rent a remotely controlled robot. Thanks to it, what would usually be done in a week was done in 1 hour. Yes, 1 hour. Isn't that amazing? At this point, we already knew that this decision was one of the best we had made recently. So, the robot acted as the main mower, and the digger additionally finished the work where needed. This part of the garden was mowed in about an hour. And we could move on to the next part. This part was the most important for us because the hill is very steep in many places. So far, that's why we haven't removed the bushes here. Too difficult terrain for humans. A maximum of a dozen or so hours divided into 2 days, and we have access to the hill. Please wait until the end of the video to see the before and after. Let's come back to the pipe installation. Now we need a place also for pipe related to heat recovery ventilation, but this pipe will be only placed under the soil. We won't connect it to the renovated house. This pipe is dedicated to the main house and it will be connected in the future, when the main house will be renovated. During these works, we prepared the entire area around the house being renovated, so that we don't have to dig up the area again during subsequent renovations. The diameter of the ventilation pipe depends on how much air will have to be exchanged between the building and the ground. Everything was calculated by a company dealing with heat recovery ventilation. Here, on the side of the house, we installed pipes to drain water from the gutters. As you can see, we are heading towards the garden area where we built the stone wall last year. This is where all the pipes will connect, and this is where the space for the heat exchanger needed for heat recovery ventilation is planned. Heat exchanger has to be put under the soil, and we need around 20 by 10 meters of flat space. Now please see the layout of pipe location. For some of you, such an empty space can look worse than before, but remember that in order to create something good, sometimes you have to destroy a thing. My dream is to show you what the garden design we're planning in these parts, but to be honest, we have 1,000 ideas for it and we don't know yet which one we'll implement. Now we have time to look at the area and make a decision.